Hi, this is Jerry. Have you ever noticed how someone can communicate more with a look or a gesture than with 1,000 words, and not always for good? Welcome to Proverbs 16:30. This proverb pulls back the curtains on how evil often works. In verse 29, Solomon warns us about bad influence. But in verse 30, he shows us that influence is formed, first in the heart, then in subtle actions, and finally in harmful results. This is not loud, reckless sin. This is calculated wrongdoing. Sin is often planned in private. The verse begins, "He shuttereth his eyes to devise forward things." To shut the eyes, it suggests focusing, blocking out distractions, to think something through. This is intentional planning. Forward means twisted, perverse, or deliberately wrong. The warning here is clear. Sin often starts long before it ever shows itself. What we allow in our minds to dwell on shapes the direction of our lives. That's why Scripture tells us to guard our hearts, because planning precedes the practice. Small gestures can carry big consequences. The second part says, "Moving his lips, he bringeth evil to pass." Now, this could refer to whispering, signaling, or subtle speech, quiet words that set harmful things into motion. Evil doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. The suggestion here, a hint there or a look of approval, and suddenly something sinful feels acceptable. Words don't always have to be loud to be powerful. A small signal can open the door to great harm. God sees what others miss. This proverb reminds us that while people may not notice the look, the signal, or the quiet plan, God does. He sees your thoughts before your actions. He sees the intent behind the gesture. He holds people accountable, not only for what they do, but for what they set in motion. And that should both warn us and comfort us. Proverbs 16:30 challenges us to examine the hidden places. So you get to ask yourself, what are we dwelling on? What are we quietly encouraging? And what are our words and expressions setting in motion? God calls his people to be a people of clean hearts, careful thoughts, and life-giving words. So before the eyes narrow, before the lips move, before the plan unfolds, wisdom is asking you, does this honor God, or does this bring evil to pass? Now, I'm going to have this verse on the screen coming up. Read it out loud if you can. Have a great day.